Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. How in the world are you today? I am doing wonderful. I am working on some accordion journals as we had discussed in some other videos, and I filmed part 2 of this little journal last week, and we kind of addressed how to deal with the seams and that kind of thing. Well, I have since finished this one, and I am so happy with the way that it came out. And so I'm going to continue the series, but I'm going to continue it in a different journal because this one is now finished. So this one will be listed in my Etsy shop sometime within the next couple of days, along with the other one that I had that it's a 4x4. And depending on how quickly I move through the one I'm working on, it will be listed in my shop as well at some point. I don't know what those little scraps of paper are right there. But anyway, so the last time, in the last video, we discussed, covering up the seams and getting our little pockets and things like that, kind of like our first stage things together. So in this one, I have already kind of put all the pockets and everything in here except for this page. I'm having kind of a mental block on this page. I can't decide what I want to do here, so I skipped over it. But we have a side tuck here. We have an envelope that has a flip out here and a tuck there. On this one, we have this little corner tuck. And then when you flip it over to the other side, we have a belly band here. And we have a side pocket here. And we have a seed packet here that I cut down to fit, and it's open here. And then here we have two top loading pockets, and over here we have two side loading pockets. So that's kind of where we left the other one in the video last week. So what I'm going to do today is show you guys how I go about doing a layout, and I'm going to work on this one and show you how I layer everything up and make it really interactive, because like I stated before, these are not big writing journals. You can put writing spaces in them, for example, on the back of your little cards or whatever you stick in, but there's not a ton of writing room. They're good for, looking just pretty, being pretty and looking at them. But you could also put pictures in them if you wanted, and use them to, like if you wanted to document a certain holiday or a certain activity that you did. You could do that. You could even use it, do one like this for a little small travel journal if you're the kind of person like I am and you don't really write a lot, but you collect a lot of things when you go, like ticket stubs and, brochures, that kind of thing. That would be great. Pictures, postcards, something this size would be great for that. This one, the covers were, again, an old bank book. It was just a long, skinny one. It measures about 6.5 inches by 2, almost 3 inches. So, you know, still quite small, but, you know, bigger than this one. Same width, just about, but it's just taller. Alright, so I have all my bits and baubles that I'm going to put on this particular layout, and I'm just going to show you how I do this. And this is I think one of the reasons that I like these so much. This is one of the more is more type of situations. I feel like the more that you put on the pages and the more interactive that you make them, the better these journals look. So we're going to go all out, and we're going to do lots of little bitty pieces. And if you'll notice, this one is kind of travel, French inspired. These papers are by Shabby Dabby Doodah, and they're Paris, you know, were French inspired papers. And so we're going to kind of carry the travel theme. That is a tuck as well. I don't think I pointed that out. So we're going to carry the travel theme kind of throughout. And that's why I picked this little lady sitting on her trunk with her little dog, because I thought that was cute. Okay, so let's go back to our page here. Alright, so like I said, I just cut this down and I left it open on this side so that it could be filled from here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little chocolate advertisement, and I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to glue it down so that it shows through the pocket. And the reason I'm going to glue it down is so that it's in there permanently, because I'm actually going to stick this picture so that it pulls in and out. But if you take it out, I didn't want, you know, this to be just plain old gray. So that's why I'm going to put this card down. So that's going to be our first step. And we're just going to kind of build this up as we go until we get, you know, all the layers that we want, and we feel like it's to that, almost to the point of being too much. And then you're going to know that you're going to be right. Hope that makes sense. Try to get this straight. Move it toward me just a second until I get this kind of in here where I want it. Okay. Alright, so there's our first glued down piece. And we still have our pocket here. Alright, so this I'm going to put as a pocket over on this side. And this is just a partial piece of a digital that is written in French. And if you'll notice, I stamped and inked. And the reason I did that is because I'm going to drop this below. And so when it flips over, I want it to be finished. So see, that transportation company is going to show down at the bottom. So when I run my glue line, I'm going to run it right above where it says transportation company, and then up the sides. And then I'm going to let that little part hang off the bottom. And before I really smush it down, I'm going to flip it over to the side so I can get it in the right spot. Okay. And as always, make sure when you're making your pockets or whatever that you're not getting into the crease and you've got enough room there for your pages to flip. Alright, so now we have a pocket here. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little tag and I'm going to place it right here. And again, I'm going to hang it out the bottom. Now this tag, I did double-sided, so it looks exactly the same on the front and the back. So I don't have to worry about it being, doing anything to the back of it, you know, because it's hanging down, because it's already finished back there. And when I glue this down, I'm actually going to put the glue on here because I want it to be kind of a tuck. As well. So I'm going to do it about like that. Okay, so that's hanging down at the bottom. It's glued here and it's glued here, but we have the ability, if we want to tuck something right there. All right, the next piece is this piece, and I actually want to firm this up a little bit. Because it's just copy paper. So I'm going to get a little piece of thicker stuff here and put on the back of that. This is just the back of like a spiral notebook. It makes great backing for tags and stuff because it's not too thick, but it's thick enough to sturdy up, you know, plain copy paper. And actually, it's not the back, it's the front. The front of the pad, like a stenographer's pad. I use them at the stenographer's pads at work to kind of jot down my notes. And so when I fill them up, I tear the covers, the front and the back, off and bring them home. And I use the cardstock for journaling. And yes, I do still take notes on a piece of paper. It's just easier for me to do that a lot of times than it is to try to keep them on my computer. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gluing this down as a small pocket. So I glued it on 3 sides and left it open at the top. So again, we have another tuck spot. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is, again, I need to put something on the back of this. Glue glob. It's been warm and my glue is definitely feeling it. I mean, not that it's that burning up in our home, of course, but Although we did wake up this morning and our downstairs air conditioner unit is not working. So that's lovely. But they did say they could get here in the morning, so that's hopefully we can get it fixed fairly quickly and it's nothing too serious. Our upstairs unit's still working though, and that's where my studio is, so I'm still nice and cool. And it is actually not bad in our downstairs. We have big trees, like big huge trees in our yard, so that helps because it keeps our house in the shade most of the day. Alright, so this is going to go right here, and I'm going to glue it down so that it's a tuck. So I'm only going to glue like the half of the outside edge. And maybe a quarter of the circle itself. Just like that. Alright, so I think that's all of my pockets and tucks. So now we can start putting the rest of this together. I've got this number 29 that I'm gonna put right here. No reason, I just like it. And I've got these little tickets, and they're gonna go over here in this tuck. And I've got this little tag that I made that's just got some stamps, rubber stamps, and a stamp on it. And it is going to go in my little tuck here. And then I have this little tag, and this little tag is going to go up here. It is going to hang out the top. Let me ink the back. It is made, it has a file folder on the back, and so the part that I happen to use says file folder, and so I kind of think that's kind of cool, so I'm going to leave that as it is. The picture is going to go in the pocket, and I need to get a tab for that. Okay, before I put these in, I want to put this little baggage check room on here. So we'll do that. And then I have, did I have this here? I believe I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. So let's put my tag, my tickets back in here. I'm going to put this here. Okay, and then this is a postcard. It's Shabby Dabby Doodah. We're going to put it in this pocket. And then this is a French check. I can't remember who this is. It's a digital, and I just shrunk it down. But you can see it has a front and a back, like a canceled check. I'm going to put it right here. And then this little 17 roux. I think I'm going to put it up here. Okay, so we need to find a tab to put on this picture, and then we need to find something to stick in here. So I've got my little basket of little things that I've collected to possibly use in this journal. So let me just go through here and see what kind of little bitty stuff I have. This is just part of the tag. I like that. I think I'll leave that. I'll left that as a tuck too, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. When I put the picture in, if I want to put something behind there, but I do like this piece. Let me put this piece on here as well. I feel like I may need some more blue over here. Or teal. No, I think I like it down here. I'm going to keep it right there for just a second. Alright, so a tab. Do I have something I can use in here? That would be kind of cool if it was the right color. Let's see what I have in my tabs already cut. We can always cut one if we need to with my punch. Let's see what I've got already made. I need to do some serious tab cutting while I'm watching TV. Obviously, I'm running out. I'd like to have something with a gray, I think. What I could do is take scrap of, that might work. Let me see, let me use that. Let's see. I was going to say I could take a scrap of Tina's paper and make one, but I think this one may work. Yeah, I think that's gonna work just fine. Okay, so let's put this on. And then that will go in here. Like that. And I'm thinking that should go like that. That should go like that, and this should go like this. Okay, so now let's put, I feel like that little tag, this should have a string in it. I'm just going to cut a little piece of the string and put it in there. Even though it's just a little partial piece. If my fingers will work. Okay. So the only thing, oh, I need to put this on, don't I? So this little tag right here, I'm going to put on with a mini paper clip, I think. Just because I want a metal element. And then I might want just a little bitty something to stick under there. See, I tell you guys, these things are addictive because you can pretty much just keep on adding. And the more that you add, in my opinion, the better they look. If I can get this out. And it's a great place to use all these little bitty pieces. And they just set off the page, you know, some little piece. Now, do we want to put something right there? If we do, I think we want it to be not come up this way, but come out this way. I don't know if I have anything in here. I don't mind that. Yeah, I think that'll be just fine. I'm gonna go with that. Just a little something stuck in there. And that kind of brings in the other blue. So there we go. There's our first layout. And who knows, I may come back before I'm done and add some other stuff as I go along. That's what I did in this one, is, you know, I'd say, okay, I'm done. And then I'd find another piece of something that I really liked, and I'd go back and end up sticking that in somewhere too. The only other thing that you might want to do is add some stamping. Like I could see a stamp here. Maybe like round stamp, since we have, this one says paid. And let's do it in black. And I think that's good. And you could add a dangle there too, if you wanted to, like a little, I've got those little bitty teeny tiny tags. Wrong basket. I think I've got one in here. Like this. You could hang that on there. Okay, we could stamp something on it. And I'm going to stamp it in the blue color, which I believe I used. I used peacock feathers or blue lagoon. Let's see. Or broken china. That might be. Yeah, let's do broken china. Let's see if I can get this number on here. Ooh, I could use one of these. I bet these will fit. Yes, that's what I will do. This is a Tim Holtz stamp, and it's the one that's got the big line of numbers. And I'm going to ink just the first number and hope that I can get that to stamp on this little bitty tag. And we'll ink around the edge. Okay, and then let's take our little bitty hole punch. Or do I want to put let's do a grommet, like a small one. Okay, I'm going to attempt to put this through here. There we go. Now we have another little tag hanging there. And I'm going to ink this piece. And got dust on the, there we go. All right. So that's got it, our first layout. And like I said, you know, to me, when you're doing these, more is more. And I am going to cut some of the string off so it's not so long. And I might end up cutting that one off a little bit too, but for right now I'm going to leave it until I see overall how I like it. And this one just has a little piece of cotton muslin tied in it. So there we go. So as you can see, you know, like I said, there's not a ton of writing room, but you know, you can write on the back of that. You can write on the back of that. You could write on the back of your tags. You could write on the back of the picture. You know, you could write here. So there's room to make little bitty notes and stuff, but not necessarily, you know, you're not going to write a book, obviously. but they're very pretty to look at, in my opinion. They're probably my favorite kind of journal, and because they do have so many elements. So that's it, guys, and I will continue to work through each layout, you know, and do each the same kind of way, create really interactive flips and tucks and, you know, things like that throughout the whole journal until it's done, and it will end up being a big chunky monkey like this one. But it'll be so worth it. Oh, and the closure that I have for this one, I have these two pieces of sari silk, you know, which match. But the real star of this one is, turn it over here, I have this vintage shoe clip that I'm going to include with this one that, you know, it's just her little shoes here. It reminds me, but it's just clipped on there. But I think it's going to be really adorable on the front of this once you know, tie your bow and have that little bit of glitz there. I think that's really cute. So there it is. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're working on one. I know a couple of you are, because you've commented. You know, be sure and send me a message or send me an email and let me see what it looks like when you get done. I'm really curious to see how everybody interprets this kind of journal. So until next time, which will be Tuesday for Color Combo 2023, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend and has a great start to the week, and we will see you on Tuesday. Bye.